You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go!
All right, yo, man, 15 Minutes of Fame, and I'm back with E. Beasley, URLTV.tv. That was coming. All right, again, man, like I talked to Smack, and, I even titled it, the culture is not for sale.
Right.
And I don't know if that wasn't enough. Because the narrative is actually, I think it's bigger now. There's a lot of people really, really talking about it now that you guys have sold the URL.
Right. No, we haven't.
Can you, as much as you can without disclosing personal shit, how is this thing working? And you know what? I'm gonna ask you one question before you do that. I got 100 million.
Right.
I want to buy the URL. I want you Smack and Beasley to sign over everything to me. I got 100 million.
Right. And it's going into my bank account.
Yes.
Yes.
You would sell the URL.
It's a crazy question.
It's a crazy
question. I you know what? Honestly, that's hard to say, right? But like, again, I'm a UFC junkie. They built UFC from the bottom up. When it got to a certain point, WME stepped in, purchased UFC for $4 billion.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're not as big as the UFC is yet, but at a certain point, that's just general business. You build companies and you sell them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Battle rap is something that's definitely dear to me. So I don't know what the situation would be. You know what I mean? It would all depend upon like what they planned on doing with it, because I still believe that this is the last place where lyricism exists within hip-hop, because mainstream hip-hop isn't really focused on lyricism, and I grew up on lyricism, and it's something that it means something to me. It's something that I did for free. It was cultural. When I grew up, I used to try to rap. I wasn't very good. I used to go to,
You used to rap?
Not seriously. I rapped because
give me 7 bars.
Hell no. I rapped because it was the thing to do.
Right.
I had a 16.
Everybody tried.
I wrote graffiti on the wall. You know what I mean?
Right.
I did breakdancing. Anything that I tried to be a DJ. Anything that related to hip hop, I was actively participating in it because it's something that's in my soul. I'm from New York City. So I have to encompass everything that comes with hip hop. Battling to me is a part of hip hop, and just doing everything with URL and the stuff that we've done is like the perfect situation for me, because it's like something that I enjoy. It's something that that I feel. I worked in the music business for a long time, and it just got to a point where they weren't making the kind of music that I wanted to hear or listen to, so I got bored. You know what I mean? And in that transition, fortunately enough, things were changing with Smack DVD and battles were around, and then we were able to have a vision with that, and then we worked towards it for a number of years, and then it turned into what we have today.
Right.
But to answer your question, I know I've been like going into. It would all depend on the situation. Oftentimes when you have people who know what they're doing and they run something, they sell the larger portion of the company, then they keep you on and they give you a salary, and and it is what it is. But I mean, ultimately with any company or anything, you sell it at a certain point. You know what I mean? Like, Death Row has been sold, Bad Boy's been sold, Def Jam's been sold. It's the nature of business. You know what I mean? So, but to answer anybody's questions, answer your questions, no, URL has not been sold. We own URL 100% outright. It's the same owners, E. Beasley, Chico, Smack.
Do you call yourself E. Beasley?
Eric Beasley.
You just called yourself
I call myself E. Beasley because you called me E. Beasley and turned the camera on.
So right now, you guys own 100% of it. Nobody has any stake in it, or so. Okay, and now explain as much as you can,
right,
the whole caffeine situation, because hold up, So somebody was telling me about some document that said that, you know, like
I'd love to see it.
they own the streaming or something
Right,
to that nature.
exactly.
I'm gonna look it up and try to put it in here.
Right.
But it
But what
doesn't matter
says-
if you can't see it right now.
Well, what it is this is what it is. As you know, we had our own
That feels good.
streaming platform, right?
Right.
Which was watchbattlelive.com, which we
Gotcha.
still own to this day.
Right.
And I'm not saying that we're
Never
done.
knew y'all owned
Right.
it. I just thought y'all was streaming
Yes,
through
we
there.
own
Shout out
that
to
as well.
y'all.
We own watchbattlelive.com.
Gotcha.
So it's a platform that we built specifically to stream our pay-per-view, right? So what we did was, well, what happened was, Caffeine comes along, they like what we're doing, we're speaking, they say, hey, guess what? Tell you what, we'll do this. Instead of streaming your material on watchbattlelive.com, stream it on Caffeine. So they have the live rights to the battles that we do under the deal that we have with them. You know what I mean?
The live.
Right, the live rights.
Got you.
Meaning that night, the premiere, the first time. If you notice, it comes on like a sporting event.
Right.
Right? We did a replay of the material one time for Genesis because Genesis didn't work.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now Caffeine has been flawless, and they're just getting better and better with each show that we do. They're a great strategic partner. It's like the best relationship that we've gotten since we've been doing this thing, period. I think what they're doing is they're elevating us to an even higher plateau. I know a lot of people think they have to have a stake in it. Look at the amount of promotion they're doing. Look at where it's showing up at. Look how many people are viewing it. Look how many people are watching it. They gotta own it, but they don't. You know what I mean? And it's more so about them promoting their platform, and it's a great partnership. I think we add a lot of value to them, and they add tremendous value to us. But in terms of them owning anything, no, they don't own it. We don't own Caffeine, and Caffeine doesn't own URL.
You're
We're great
pretty much
partners with each other.
Licensing out.
The rights to the live show when it happens. Like
After that, it's
Right.
over. It's still your.
Right. That's why
okay.
the stuff. That's why the VOD is on the URL TV app,
Okay.
which existed for some time before
Is
Caffeine came along.
Is it VOD if you already buy the app? So you're not. It's not video on. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're
The
okay. It is. I
VOD,
guess it is a
yeah.
VOD. Okay.
The VOD lives on the URL TV app.
Right. Right.
We have not sold anything. People are saying that we sold the whole catalog. Catalog still lives on URL TV, on YouTube, or the URL TV channel. It's not on any other channels. It's our stuff. If you try to repost our stuff, as many know, it comes down right away. So we have, the right security in play to protect our content, and we own it. You know what I mean? So I know a lot of people are confused. They don't understand the situation, and it's not really for anyone to understand. You know what I mean? As long as we're putting out shows and delivering content, that's really the only thing people should be focused on. But just to answer your question and to be clear, URL has not been sold. It is still owned by its original owners. Now, I might have to take you up on that. That's a lot of bread right there. Huh?
Sure, it's not the jail, motherfucker. I got the bread.
Right. No, we haven't sold it.
No, and again, man, as much as I love this culture and would hate that for it to wind up in the wrong hands, I mean, if the right price could set you guys after you built it, you own it. What you do with it is on you.
Right.
That's my slogan. We'll give you 15 minutes of fame. What you do with it, it's up to you.
Right.
But it's yours. You know what I mean? So, I'm sure the culture will be mad if that ever happened.
Right.
As long as it was able to continue, I guess. But
Right.
without y'all, it's like, wow.
I don't see anybody purchasing it and telling us to step away from it. You know what I mean? Just
Okay,
like
okay.
when UFC is bought, they didn't tell Dana White to step away from the UFC. And he was very vocal and public about it being sold. You know, it's not, look, I built this thing from the ground up. I'm selling it now. I'm still going to be on as the president. I'm going to run the company. You know what I mean? And that's just what it's going to be. I mean, as a certain time, how I look at this is to be something long range. I don't look at URL for just another 5 years. I'm hoping that, this is going on way after we're gone. There has to be something that has some form of original hip hop in it.
Right.
You know what I mean? At least the rapping part of it. And I hope to keep that going forever.
Hopefully,
We hope to.
if you ever do sell it, that you'll have those stipulations or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of people take hip hop and, you know, they do what they want to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't theirs, and then they take it and then they fuck it up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like you said, man, battle rap is the last real form of rap, of hip hop.
Right. That's
rapping, you know, left.
Where it's like one guy saying, I'm better than you and I'm ready to prove it in front of the world. You know, it doesn't exist. And,
So,
you know, it's important for us to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? While building a business, while making it bigger, while bringing it, I mean, listen, if we didn't want to be bigger or expand, we would just still be doing battles in barbershops or on the corners from the Smack DVD days. Everything that we've done along the way has been an elevation. Every step, everything that we've done has been an attempt to make what we are doing bigger. That's all it is. Whether it's getting to bigger venues, going to different states, going to different countries, pulling in different people, you know, shooting differently, doing just everything has always been a step to try and advance what we do. And linking with Caffeine and their platform and their output and their level of advertising and marketing is crazy. You can't turn YouTube on without seeing a URL.
We're starting to notice that now, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's everywhere.
Starting to see too much of that shit.
It's never too much.
Of course, for you.
Yes,
but
it's everywhere.
I live this battle rap shit.
It's on your content, huh? You didn't even know.
I'm watching a cartoon on YouTube and the
Right.
URL commercial pop up. Like,
That's why it has
gotta
to
love
be,
it, man.
And
Gotta
that's
love it.
what we
Gotta
want.
love it. Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
the more eyeballs that come onto it, the bigger that it gets. You know what I mean? You know, my dream is the garden. I've always been plotting on the garden. You know what I mean? It's, you know, and we're working to get there. That's our dream, to get in the garden. Even if it's the theater at Madison Square Garden.
Right, that's a
I'll
start.
take it. It still has Madison Square Garden on it.
That's a fact.
And we'll get to the next, but it takes time, and it takes this type of marketing. It takes getting people on billboards. It takes getting people on all social media platforms, and it takes the artists showing up and giving a maximum effort. If we can have that synergy, it can't be stopped. You know what I mean?
It's a fact. I think hopefully I've addressed this as much as I could.
Yes. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theorists.
One more thing.
What's up?
So I got one more question.
Yeah.
All right. The last
Avocado.
thing is avocado. He wasn't part of it. He actually put out a tweet, you know, and just was making sure that people knew, like, if anything goes wrong, I have nothing to do with it. I'm not filming. No.
Right.
So
yeah, you know, that was more so. You know, it was because we were on a caffeine setup, and you know, he was definitely invited to set, and he was definitely a part of some things that were going on behind the scenes, but he didn't actually shoot this particular event. But we definitely are keeping him involved. Actually, I just spoke to him yesterday. We're working on Sterilize 3. We got a whole bunch of other things coming on, and he'll definitely be a part of what we have going on for Summer Madness. So, you know, I mean, I guess, you know, he was just expressing some things that he was dealing with at the time, but it's all cool. Next day, he was at the Crucible. He was the judge there with Emerson Kennedy and Geechee. So our relationship with him is still intact, and you know, it's nothing. You know what I mean? I know people, you know, oh, they inflate things and turn it into what it is, but you know, everything is solid with Avocado, and we're working.
15 minutes of fame.
You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go.